The PressBox High School Lacrosse Show is sponsored by Jerry's Tire, located in Baltimore City, just steps away from Little Italy and historic Jonestown. Jerry's not only sells all the major brands like Bridgestone, Michelin, and Continental, but is your go-to shop for everything from oil changes to factory schedule maintenance. All repairs are backed by a nationwide warranty. The team over at Jerry's has been serving the Baltimore area for over 62 years and are eager to earn your business. Give them a call at 410-685-4330 or visit them online at jerrystires.com to shop for tires and schedule an appointment. That's GERRYS tires.com. Now, here's Booker Corrigan.
Hey now, from the live Casino Hotel studio, Booker Corrigan alongside Glenn Clark, and we are set to talk some great high school lacrosse. The MIAA has some developments, some things that I saw coming on the horizon that I'm not sure a lot of other people saw. One of them being we've flexed the Game of the Week broadcast. We will now be at Calvert Hall for the St. Paul's, the number 2 standing St. Paul's against the Goliath, the number 1 Calvert Hall Cardinals. We talked a lot about them last week. I love the way St. Paul's plays the sport of lacrosse. They have some studs. They have people who can score goals. They have people with speed. They have people who can defend. They got a fantastic goaltender. They're in a very, very good spot right now. And they came in under the radar. I had somebody tell me in December, don't sleep on the Crusaders. And I believed him.
Well, smart that you did.
Yeah.
Because it's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And I believed. And I said
they've lost just one game in MIAA play all year.
Yep. They lost to St. Mary's, who's ensconced at number 3.
Right.
So it's now come down to, and St. Mary's 6 wins, they're in because they have so many head-to-head victories, and they're going to also get to 7, so it makes sense. But it's interesting because you now have 4 teams who are battling tooth and nail for those last 3 spots. So it'll be a great end of the season.
So why don't you start at the top? Because it's the game of the week tomorrow. The game of the
Calvert
week,
Hall-St. Paul.
4 o'clock, right?
Yep.
And you can, of course, go where to watch the game?
You can go to the Valley Inn and watch it. You can go to Calvert Hall and watch it, or you can just log onto your computer or smart TV and go to MIAAlacrosse.com. And one of the things that you're going to notice about the game when you watch it, whether it's on TV, your computer, or in person, you're going to notice so many talented, unbelievably gifted kids. Kids that played in that Under Armour All-American Underclass tournament. Kids who even made the Under Armour All-American callback game. And in Baltimore, college coaches come to the Under Armour tryout, and they line multiple fields from goal line to goal line. And then for the callback game, which is the top 40 or so, we don't put a number on it because we want to be able to include. And if we say, top 44 game, and we have 46 guys,
you want to make sure you got
we just call it the callback game. And the callback game is the highest level of lacrosse you'll see in Baltimore at any given time, other than when we bring the Under Armour tournament for the underclass kids in.
Okay, so this is tomorrow. This is the big one.
Yes.
Is this the best chance that I know right now they're 6-1.
Yes, it is.
It's the best chance for somebody to beat Calvert Hall all season.
And it's also, and I got to tell you, so Brian Kelly, they've already lost the game. They lost to Hill Academy early in the year. A couple fluke things happened. If you're Brian Kelly, I want to make sure that you take this team that is perfectly capable of winning an MIAA championship and make sure you win it. Does that mean that this team has to lose because they've been up against it a little bit? I saw them play St. Mary's. It was 11-9. Calvert Hall up by 2. St. Mary's man up, and they hit the post. And they had all the momentum. It was 11-7 at one point. They're rolling off goals. That could have been the day.
So this is the argument that so many people make, coaches sometimes make, that sometimes you're better off losing a game because it helps refocus everyone. Yep. It helps make them more coachable. It helps all of those things. And when your goal is win the league,
hang a banner.
Right. That you might just be better off not also worrying about a winning streak. Just worry about winning the league. Don't worry about all these other things, trying to go undefeated in league play during the course of the year.
The way I always say it to people is every coach and every team wants to begin and end the season as undefeated, win the national champ, or the mythical national championship in high school lacrosse, and be in the conversation for one of the best teams ever. The bad news is those kind of teams don't roll around all the time.
Sure.
The last time we had one here was Boys Latin in 2014. They really should have done it in 2013 too, but they hadn't lost. Next thing you know, they're playing the title game against Loyola. We all know how that went. Now, 2005, Johns Hopkins, undefeated the whole way, but they were nip and tuck, and it took a crazy wild...
Almost a miracle.
It's 2005. It took a crazy wild thunderstorm to roll in the third quarter when they were playing UVA. They should have lost that game. Hopkins should have lost that game. They didn't. I know, and I'm not going to go jumping up and down about it, but it was a weird occurrence of events, and they went undefeated the whole year. The next year, UVA, that might be one of the best teams ever.
Sure.
Undefeated,
Sure.
rolled in the national championship game. So it's interesting that it's happened, but it hadn't happened a lot. If I'm Brian Kelly at Calvert Hall, losing's not the worst thing ever. Yes, they'll have a legit argument at the end of the year if they could be possibly the best team in the entire country, Northern Hemisphere, because they put Hill Academy in there. So they could be in the best team in the in the world, best high school team in the world.
But it wouldn't be the end of the world
No.
for them if they were to lose this game tomorrow.
Nope. Be a great lesson for them. And kids, high school kids, sometimes need to take in the full measure of the lesson, and that the only way you can do that sometimes is by snatching
Losing again,
defeat
right?
from the jaws of victory, as opposed to the other way around.
All right, so that's tomorrow.
Yep,
That's the big one.
that's huge.
First place at stake in the MIAA. St. Paul's, Calvert Hall, 4 o'clock, the MIAA game of the week.
Unbelievable.
You got another game of the week this week?
Yeah, Saturday, while the Frederick Running Festival is going on, I will be at BL for the Gilman-BL game, and I love that matchup.
Okay.
Last thing on the St. Paul's team, they got Milani, Barthelme, Santos, Sheehan, and Woodward as guys who you want names going in. We always highlight too.
Yep, sure.
But those are names you're going to want to know going in. Now, let's get on to Gilman-BL. BL's been to the semifinals year after year after year after year. They didn't make the playoffs in 2008. Other than that, I'm pretty sure they've been to the semifinals 8 out of the last 10 years. So it's interesting to see the excellence that Bob Shriver built there and how Brian Farrell has been able to certainly pick up right where he left off. They have an unbelievably talented roster, and it's up and down. It's freshman talent. Dave Petromalo's son, Dominic Petromalo, is a starting attackman for him.
A freshman,
yeah.
a freshman.
Yeah, who only scored 7 goals against Loyola.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just a cool casual 7-goal game against the Dons.
Not a bad day for young Petro. And then you have, obviously, Ben Smith, who's been starting there, and Cam Spencer, who, Patrick Spencer's younger brother,
Yep.
he is
Loyola
as
bound, by the
freakishly-
way.
Yeah,
Yep.
as freakishly athletically gifted as his older brother is. So he brings that element to the table, and it'll be interesting to see how they're able to hold off Gilman, because Gilman's got some talent. They have an attackman, Sam King, who is as gifted. And again, played in the Under Armour games, played in that Under Armour callback game, and really blew people away. They have some big, strong kids. Godine's unbelievable. Midfielder Pfaff, very, very good. Spillman can bring it, sling it, and sting it. You want to know how old I am, Glenn? I coached Billy Spillman's dad.
Ooh, boy. Well, you were coaching at 6, though, so that actually makes sense. It's logical.
So well
That math
played by
works.
you.
That math works.
So well played by you. The other thing is, did you notice that when I did the Penn State Hopkins women's game that I was wearing a Thunder Bay lacrosse tie?
I didn't even see that. That's dope. That's dope.
So Thunder Bay Apparel, they've come out with this lacrosse line, and it's a lifestyle brand for lacrosse.
Yeah.
And they really do have some really cool stuff. They just have a little embroider on the pocket, little Native American playing lacrosse. The tie has the Native American. They have stuff for girls that has a dragonfly, where the wings of the dragonfly are actually lacrosse sticks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so
I like
Thunder
that.
Bay Apparel.
So the other game, again, is Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday, 4 o'clock or
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on Saturday. So the double game of the week this week in the
Sick
MIAA.
league. The MIAA is so good.
Well, I think we all know that. I think we all know that's the case. I don't think you're surprising
Was that a Clint
anyone.
Eastwood character you just went into?
Come on.
Was that a Clint Eastwood character?
Telling us that the MIAA is really good. Like, yeah, we know that.
It was a Sam Elliott. Were you the stranger in The Big Lebowski? I dig your style.
I would have liked
dude.
that role. I actually would have really liked that role.
Dig your style.
So,
dude.
Boys Latin and Gilman. Now let's get back into what you were talking about before, which is the fight for the spots to get in.
Oh God,
because those teams are kind of impacted by that.
BL
fight as well.
is bubble. They have a big win over Loyola, so everybody has a big win over the other. And now you have St. Mary's just dropped into. They're a 6-bid team, but McDonough beat them. So that's a win up for McDonough. And McDonough is kind of on the doorstep of death. But they also have a great coach in Andy Hillgardner. They got great players, and they just destroyed St. Mary's.
And they're only a game back at Gilman now.
And now they have that winning thing going on. They played Gilman in the last game of the regular season. So you have Gilman, BL, McDonough, and Loyola as the 4 playing for 3 spots. Loyola has the head-to-head over McDonough. It is, what, April 29th?
Yes.
Today's April 29th?
Yes.
April 29th.
Correct.
Today is.
Correct. Today is April 29th.
We're going to have the Friday Night Lights coin flip.
Because you think it comes down to that.
I think it's going to come down.
You think it comes down to a big, dramatic, televised, everybody's checking out the coin to make sure it works, right?
From a secret truck stop halfway between.
That type of deal. Yeah. No. It was one of the very dramatic moment in that film, obviously, is the coin flip to see who gets in. But you're saying it could come down to that because these teams are so closely bunched together.
The head-to-heads are all kind of mangled. Now, it's still... McDonough's got to beat Gilman to even be in the coin flip.
Right.
It could be one of those scenarios where they're like, okay, the 4th tiebreaker is goals against. They had it in the Big Ten where they had goals against, but no more than 3. So a blowout doesn't matter. So if you win by more than 3, it just counts for 3.
Wow.
Goal differential. It could get that bad.
So we know the games that are, like we got this week. We got this weekend, and we have next Tuesday, correct? That's what's left in the MIAA. What games next Tuesday could ultimately be like determining games?
So it's rivalry day. So you have Calvert Hall-Loyola. That'll be Loyola.
It would be obviously an amazing, right? Could you even imagine?
McDonough, Gilman. St. Mary's Severn is actually the game we flexed off of for tomorrow, and we're doing St. Paul's. St. Paul's BL. Could be for St. Paul's is
they're good, right? But
St. Paul's in, and BL is it depends on what BL team shows up. The BL team that kind of scratched and clawed their way to a win on the road over at Mount St. Joe, or the team that absolutely destroyed Loyola.
So wow, this could come down to we're talking about like you might have to pull off a significant upset, in order to get in to the MIAA playoffs.
Or to get into that. Yeah, so there are definitely 7 teams for 6 spots.
Right.
And Loyola has some head-to-heads that are going to be crucial. And they're holding serve. They just went down and scratched out of a win over Mount St. Joe. So it's interesting to see how it's all flipping around, going crazy. And that's high school lacrosse with high school athletes.
It's going to be a massive week. It's going to be a massive week to wrap up the regular season.
And here's my lesson for today, because I'd like to have you ask me for it, but today you weren't going to.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Lesson for today, I'm talking to the parents. And I always harp to my kids and kids that I get a chance to influence a little bit. Be a good teammate. That's the number one thing, Glenn. If you and I are playing a team sport together and you make a mistake, I don't have to necessarily go over to you and say, hey, so I just go stand by you. That's it.
Say, hey, man,
There's
happens.
a timeout, and I don't even have to say a word. You know that you just threw the ball in the bleachers, right? Or you just missed your last 5
I would
shots.
never do that myself, obviously. I was perfect in those areas.
I always try to help kids just be a better teammate by just being there. Don't let the kid walk to the sideline by himself.
Dig that.
Yeah.
Dig that.
Parents, for the love of Christmas, it's a lacrosse game.
I saw something you shared on social media this weekend. Like a sign with some rules for parents or something like that.
Yeah, your kid's ability to score goals, run fast, or make plays is no reflection of your parenting skills. But their ability to make good decisions and be good people is a direct reflection of your parenting skills. And that's what you want your kids to represent and model the behavior you expect. You don't want your kid yelling at the ref and jumping up and down about mistakes and like that. You want your kid to shake it off and know that hard work's going to be a little bit harder now, but you're still going to have to do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's tough to get parents to realize that in the moment. I think they should almost have like a pledge before the game, like, hey, it's high school lacrosse. Let's just have a great time. And let's see if we can't be the best possible version
That's the way it
of
should
ourselves.
Be. The way it should be, no question about that.
You know who taught me that?
Who?
My sister. She's going to be on the Today Show tomorrow.
I heard tomorrow morning, right, on NBC.
Tomorrow around 8:30. Kelly
awesome.
Corrigan.
That's awesome.
Seth Rogen's going to be on before.
Well, he's opening for her.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Seth Rogen is
So
opening
well
for
played.
Kelly Corrigan.
So well played.
And what's
by
the
you.
book?
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
It's an unbelievable book. Did I give you one?
No, I haven't.
Oh, your wife would love it.
Okay.
You'd read it and enjoy it. Like it's Tell Me More and 11 other challenging things I'm learning to say.
I am on vacation next week, so I'm looking for a read.
Stan.
I'm looking for
really?
a read. Yeah, I'm looking. I got a Kevin Coward's book about the baseball game when the fans weren't allowed in. I got to read that book. I got a couple of books lined up, but I'm reading next week while I'm on vacation. We're gonna be down in New Orleans doing some reading.
I don't know that you're going to be doing.
Going to do a
that.
lot of drinking and a little bit of reading. A lot of something like that. A lot of
Wait,
eating.
I tell you
a
what,
little
if
bit of
you
reading.
want a book, I'll give you my sister's second book. It's called Lift.
Okay.
And it's based on the concept that hang gliders need to seek out turbulent air in order to ascend.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? And
I was thinking about I was like, whoa, I get it now. I get it. Yeah.
As human beings, there's times when we need to seek out turbulent scenarios in order to ascend.
I like it. I like it.
The good news for you is the book's about 93 pages.
I don't know, by the way, a book that I
and
want
it's
to be.
a very big font.
That is good. That is really good news.
In the family, we call it a pamphlet.
But I was thinking to myself, I'm not sure that I want to be reading about turbulent air while I'm flying to New Orleans. I feel like that maybe would be one for when I'm sitting by the pool, perhaps next week.
It's two turbulent situations that she had to endure in order to become
okay, that's a little
who
bit
she
different.
is.
That's
So
a
no,
little
she
bit
doesn't
different.
talk about hang. The only part about hang gliding is the opening where they're like,
right.
okay,
all right,
this is the sense of lift, like getting that lift.
I get it.
And who do you get it from in life?
All right, let's run back through. Tomorrow,
St. Paul's at Calvert Hall. Kristen Wiig on Saturday Night Live.
I'm a big fan.
Oh my!
Yeah, this is a big one tomorrow.
Surprise party, and it was
This
a
is a big-
surprise release.
This is a big one.
A lot of people in Baltimore should be doing the Kristen Wiig right now.
I like it. And then the other game of the week this week is Saturday.
Yes, and that is it's Gilman at BL in a sick playoff implication. Those teams, if you want to be in the playoffs, you got to win that game. If you want to be seeded well, have a home game, you got to win that game. That's a baller's game right there.
No doubt. All right.
Should be a beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Hey, thanks to Jerry's Tires for supporting the PressBox High School Lacrosse Show. Jerry's Tires, GERRYS Tires.com. Right at the bottom of 83. They want to earn your business. They've got all the major brand names. They got everything going on there. They'll take care of you, and they are big supporters of local high school lacrosse, Jerry's Tires. So go support them as well. Booker, you want to take us home?
Yeah, make sure you check out Thunder Bay Apparel. It is fabulous lacrosse wear. It's a lifestyle brand. Want to thank all the folks at the Live Casino Hotel Studio. Thank Glenn Clark for chipping in as he does, makes it possible. And I'm Booker Corrigan reminding you, you only get one shot at today.